Alrighty. Today we're drinking water. So, when I last left off, I was hair. That was almost 2 weeks ago. Since then, I've done a bit of work. Um, I believe when I last left off, I didn't even have a front end at all. I think it was just some API routes on the back end. So here's where the last video left off at. And as you can see, that was 12 days ago. And we are all the way up here. So quite a bit of work I think has been done mainly on the front end and mainly in React. So React slash CSS is what has been my jam lately. um, Lots of things are working. So you ready? Drum roll, please. All right. So let's close this out. So this is what it's looking like at the moment. The question is, did I copy styling from my last project? Of course I did. Of course I copied styling. So we've got a couple of pages here. Nothing's really super final yet, but I kind of do have a general layout for how I want things to look, and I also am gonna cut a couple of features just because I want to wrap this up before August starts because I don't want to work on this anymore, but I do want to finish it. So the idea for this user homepage is you'll log in, and then I'll grab all of the information associated with that user that I plan on displaying. So their top artist, their favorite albums, their recently liked songs. The idea is that it's a bit more personal of a homepage than, let's say, Apple Music or Spotify. The idea is you come on here and you can see, your favorite stuff easily, stuff you've recently been listening to, and recommendations by us. And I'm just gonna have a super simple, super easygoing, basic sorting algorithm, or no, a ranking algorithm for my songs. I also don't think I'm gonna allow users to mess with the database too much. Obviously, they can interact with it, but I don't think I'm going to be allow them to update or delete stuff. Maybe I'll make that based on admin permissions, but I'm not sure yet. Like I said, I want to finish this up in the next 8 days, so I don't know how much stuff I want to add. So then I thought about maybe on an explore page I can have more recommendations, or I could just kind of show off like some CSS here or some shit like that, like make it look super nice with the artist. I don't know yet, but right now it's just this add album form that I ripped from one of my old projects, to kind of give me a general idea of what I want the add album to be. And like I said, I don't even know if I'm going to allow the users to do this, or if it's just going to be something that I do in Node and just call it a day. I don't know yet. 8 days. Artist. So this is what I haven't really worked on the artist page yet. Most of the work's been on the albums page, but I figured that once I get past the complexity of React and shit, that I can come here on the artist page and then copy and paste all this stuff from, well, not all of it, but a lot of the code from the albums to artist, and just be on my way. So that's why I'm thinking the complexity is out of the way, but honestly, not a lot of the work has been done, neither on the back end or the front end for artist or songs. That's why they kind of look really messy right now. But whatever. So yeah, so I plan on just having like the top 3 artists here. Maybe it'll have a different emoji for like first place, second place, third place, and then just like a list of the artists or something. But maybe have it like a flex box where it's scrolling horizontally, right? It's scrolling this way, or something like that. Like maybe the top 3 are up here and the rest of them are scrolling this way. I'm not entirely sure yet, but it's something I plan on putting together really quickly. I wanted to kind of display, maybe Flexbox on this page, grid on this page, another grid on this page, kind of show off some CSS positioning skills, I guess. Maybe not so much CSS design, but positioning and layout. So here's the albums page, what I've been working on mostly. This is not obviously the final iteration, and it's not the first iteration of what this looked like. One thing I will say about this is that I definitely should have planned out way more than kind of just going at it, but that's okay. So I don't know if this is final, but this is what we have now. And I'm thinking about having the same sort of like ranking, like the top ranked album at the top, but I don't know yet. So you hover, you see the artist name. I don't really know if I like this because it makes a little silly animation here to extend and kind of moves the entire page down. So I don't know if I like that. It kind of seems unnecessary. But the point is, it's grabbing these numbers from context. So it's not hooked up right now, but eventually these numbers will correspond with the API, with the database, I'm sorry. But right now I just put some hard-coded data within React context, and that data is being pulled down to this albums grid component, which I'll show you here in a second. I guess I can show you the components really quickly. Albums grid, hello? Albums grid. So yeah, so you can see the context is being pulled down from the albums context, and that's contained all of this. Right now it's hard-coded data, and you can't see it because my head's in the way. But right now it's hard-coded data. So this is all coming in from React context. Right now it's hard-coded, but soon all I have to do is swap out this hard-coded data with the API response, and once that response comes back, it loads into the context, and all of this information will display super easy. So it doesn't really matter what's in here right now, but as you can see, and I also need way more fake data than what I have, which is a side quest that I need to do. Let's go with Yeezus. So this is the JSON packet. I don't know. This is the JSON coming in. So artist ID is 1. So it gives you this whole info. So that way, let's go to Yeezus, right? So all of this stuff is getting built here. Okay. And then when you click on it, you're going to see this modal open up with the same information, because all of this, so it's on a grid. I don't want to get too technical in this video. It's on a grid. The grid has the context. Each of these albums have the album as their own mini sort of context, and they just pass that down. And then from here, okay, you see their favorites in the database, their likes, their score, which is what I need to like shape up the algorithm back in MySQL. I don't know what I'm going to do yet, but this will come in. Obviously, I'll style this differently. This will be the genre. This will be the runtime, and then I'll have release year here, but none of my fake data has release years. And then you can add a review, which this is the latest feature I've been working on. So it's almost working, almost. And once I get this working, it's smooth sailing. It's smooth sailing, boy. So you can add a review for this song, and because it's in context, it's keeping the ID in context. So once I punch submit in, it's gonna send this review. It knows the user's ID because it's authorized, and it also knows the album's ID. So it's gonna combine both of those to become the composite key, and then attach the review to that in the database. Boom, right? So we're almost there. We've almost got it hooked up. I can show you what the latest issue's been. I just downloaded this like weird cores extension because it wasn't working before. But now I've got it working. Like, let's see. If I submit, I've got it working, but I need to get the authorization working on the front end. But it should be technically working, so that's fine. So you can submit your review from here. Whoops. You can submit your review from here. You can also click cancel. You can add a rating. This is not styled yet, so don't flame me, okay? So the rating is going to go from 1 to 100, and then you can obviously add your rating to the database. And then you could go ahead and submit that or cancel it. Some cool little React tidbits here is that this starts a review state. This obviously cancels it, but if you click add rating, this checks to see if this is opened, and if it is, you close it, and if it isn't, you still go ahead and open it. So first, and make sure the other state isn't closed before you can open it. So that way it prevents like stacking of the reviews. So that's one issue I had in just regular JavaScript. When you'd have two things like this, they just stack on top of each other, and it's like, that's not what I wanted at all. So yeah, and then obviously you can just back out of here. I thought about having like a home page for the albums and then having like a graph or something like that on there, but I don't know if I'm gonna do that yet, because like I said, 8 days. So yeah, and anything like this is just because I don't have fake data in there. So yeah, so a lot of work has been done on the front end, and then for my 404 page, so as you can see, obviously I don't know what's going to be on the nav bar when I wrap this up, so I just have random tabs here. But as you can see, some of these tabs aren't coded yet, and they just give you a 404 page, which is basically the exact same 404 page. Let me move my head. Hold on. What? Oh shit. It's the exact, I don't do editing, boys. It's the exact same 404 page as my last project, but I just coded in a silly little array with some quotes, so that way they change quotes every single time. Shout out JR Token. So yeah, I like little Easter eggs like this because I'm trying to keep myself interested in this. So yeah. So this is, the idea for this is the same thing for the context. It's going to say, hey, user 23 just logged in. Let's run a whole bunch of API functions to get a whole bunch of data for him. And then let's just display that on the front end of his dashboard. So really this is like a dashboard. This explore, you gotta visualize it. This explore page will just be like, I don't know, the top 2 artists or something, and like a cool picture with a cool overlay, like Spotify does it, like make it green or something, or orange. Doesn't really matter, but just make it look nice to kind of show off CSS skills, because that's the idea, right? To show off a blend of skills. So this overview is getting kind of long, so I'll stop this video and then get into the technical video, I guess, in the next one.